Well, hello everybody, and welcome back. Josh here with Josh Lawn Landscape. If you can't tell, a little warm out, sweating in the shop. So what we're going to do here today is talk about the 100-hour review and service, which I've already done, but for the most part, we'll talk about that too, on the SCAG VRide 2. So, and I'll do a quick shout out once I get started here in a minute. So check back with you. Alright y'all, so back here in the shop. I went to get lunch earlier before I started to do the review and stuff. So I'm back in the shop. I've got to do a few other things before I load up and wrap this up. So just wanted to try to finish out the rest of this video without falling over something in the shop. And so I'll turn the camera around to the mower and talk about it. A couple things on it and recent events, etc. And then I'll show you how many hours it's got as of right now. But first, I want to give a shout out. I got a delivery. I think it was yesterday in the mail, if I recall correctly. No, it's got day before yesterday. Excuse me. It was the day before yesterday. Yeah, came Friday, so day Sunday. But big shout out to Ronaldo over at Big Suns, because look at there, he sent me a keychain, man. That's sharp looking right there. Got the Cub Cadet on there. So big thanks, shout out Ronaldo, appreciate it, buddy. It did make it, so might have to put my one of my mower keys on that. Might help me keep up with it. Something that flashing. But appreciate it. Check his channel out. Like I said, Big Sun's Lawn Care. If y'all haven't yet, good stuff over there. So let me turn the camera around and start talking about a few things on the mower. So here it is. I still got it up on the ramps and the jack. This is how I do like the oil change and stuff. So I back it up on these ramps, and then I jack the front of it up where it's up just a little bit so that it runs to the back ever so slightly to the drain hose, which drains down and runs right out down there. So I've already done the oil change, filter. I blew the air filter out, being as this is a 100-hour maintenance. I always do an air filter and spark plugs and the fuel filter, so I got to get that. Just with as crazy as everything's been lately, I have not picked those items up. But what I use is the Kawasaki oil filter. Let's see, where is your part number? Right there. For those of you who may have the this is the FT730 engine. So it takes 2 quarts, and what I use is the Kawasaki synthetic blend. I use the 1040. Some people may say that they prefer the 2050, especially when it's hot, but never had any issues running the 1040 or the 1030 like I run in the Deere. So the turf guard oil, so which is actually right here for that mower. So just for reference, there it is, 104.8. So I actually spent most of the morning cutting the grass here at my place and my in-laws place, which is, we're right next door. Big area. So yeah, so I still got to do, I'll do the fuel filter, air filter, and spark plugs in the next day or so, and just pick those up from the dealer. Won't be a problem. So now on to the 100-hour review of the SCAG VRide 2 52-inch. I think I finally got the deck pretty much right. I've tinkered with it, I think 2 or 3 times before I kind of finally got it right. I actually had to do it in my garage to get this right. So with the deck height adjustment, It has 4 points, 2 on either side. For reference, this is a 5/8 nut on each of these. To loosen these so that these can move up and down, they are adjusted with a 9/16 socket on each of these bolts. There's one in each one. If you tighten it in, this pulls down and pulls this part of the deck up. So like I said, 2 on either side. These are loose right now just because I got the jack under the front and got it pushed up. So here is the whole deck height adjustment. So if you just want the whole deck to come up as a whole without any changes in any of the corners or adjustment, that's what this rod is for. These are, if I recall correctly, this is a 3/4. I think this is a 3/4 here. Nut. It's a 3/4 or 17. I can't remember. I won't say it's 3/4. But you'll loosen both of these, and then there is a flat spot on this rod here that you can put. I think maybe it's either 3/8 or a 13. I think it's a 3/8 wrench here on either side, and turn it one way or the other to raise or lower the deck as a whole for your adjustment. So that's kind of the overall way of adjusting the deck. Pretty accessible grease points on everything. Any of you who've watched the channel recently know that I did a bearing and seal replacement on this caster wheel. The zerks are on the inside of the wheel right there. Well, that one's on the inside. Yep, they're both on the inside. So there's the other one here, easily accessible. Excuse me. Deck lift can be greased here and there, and then you can't see it for the spring, but there's one right in there, and then one right here. So 4 on that. Each spindle has a grease zerk on. This one's on the inside here. That one's on this side right there, and that one is on the inside as well. So let's see, the other grease points, I think there were 2 more, are on the rear deck lift arms, which is these, and there you see there's one there and one right there. Each of these arms has one. So so that's just kind of some maintenance points and things for this mower. Everything's pretty accessible. Like I said, there's the, again, fuel filters right there. Oil drain plug is here. Oil filter here, like I say, easy to get to. This cord is maybe a little in the way, but throttle cable, not too bad. There's a tube on this that runs down, and if you can see, there's the end of it right there, runs right out on the side. So easy to do that. Battery is easily accessible here. Just flips up, down. Very comfortable knee, thigh pad here, operator's pad. Easily accessible for the fuel tank, visible fuel gauge, so that when you are on the mower, it's easy to see. Unlike the bad boy that I had, y'all know that there was a hole right here, and the gauge was on top of the tank, so you had to look down through there to see it. That you can just glance over and see. Parking brake, throttle, choke. This is not EFI, thankfully. I know some people love it, but hey, I love my carbureted. And let's see, deck height assist is easy to get to, easy to set. Simply flip the pin up, and put it back in slot. The one thing I will say is this deck is heavy to lift as compared to even the quick track that I had, or even the bad boy deck on the 54-inch bad boy, which yeah, so might help SCAG, maybe, if you're listening. Maybe add another spring or something to help with the deck raising and leveling. I've got this panel off. This is it's a shield that goes under. I think it's maybe primarily for keeping the heat off of this pulley, the pulleys and the belt in here. It's just kind of a barrier in there. Maybe what it's for, maybe not. It just has 2 bolts that hold it on. One goes in there, one over there. Pretty easy. I think it's an 8-gallon fuel tank. So plenty of fuel here, and you can cut a good bit today. I wouldn't even venture to guess how many acres I cut earlier today with this mower on touch over half a tank gone, so not quite 5/8 of a tank gone. Let's see, that's 2.5. I'd say I was pushing 5 to 6 acres, so not too bad. About 5 acres, I'd say 5.5, somewhere in that range. Very comfortable operator's platform. It has, you can see the springs on either side, and then it has the rubber dampeners there underneath on either side, and I think they can be adjusted back, I'm pretty sure. Yep, see, it's got a couple of spots, so you can adjust those back if you don't like it being quite so high up. You do stand rather tall, or I do on this one, standing up here. So but good visibility, as you can see. If I'm standing up here, there's not much I can't see outside of about 3 feet in front of me. Like I say, right down through there. So good visibility all the way around. Good compact machine with the 52-inch. The 24-horse carbureted FT730 Kawasaki. It's been a solid engine so far. Y'all know I have the FX 730 on the Z-Track. It has right at 1,650 hours on it. Still knocking it down. So I think I did a video a couple videos back on that. But so since this is a review, I have to bring this up again. Y'all know what I'm going to say. I do not like these caster wheels at all. It does not matter how fast you are going. If you're going 1/3 throttle, half throttle, 3/4 throttle, it does not matter. If you are not in a smooth, even yard, if you've got any like patches where there's a ridge of grass or anything like that, these things, as I've said before, somebody loved the saying, but these things will dance around like a drunk monkey. They get to bouncing around, and they'll just catch and kick all the way around. When they get to doing that, if they can catch places in the sand and kind of dig in, it can cause the front of the mower to get really, really squirrely. And to be honest, I never had that issue with the quick track when I operated it. As far as driving it, it has the same casters as the Z-Track over here, which are slightly rounded. So I think that's something that SCAG could improve on. These things here, just yeah, whatever. and I'm not saying that didn't contribute to it, but I think that all the dancing around and things like that is that the more you can keep them smooth and straight and running, I think would help minimize pressure on like bearings and seals and stuff. So not saying that didn't contribute to a degree to my most recent problem with the bearing here, which I may have contributed to that as well. So check out that video if you want to know all about that. Let's see, it has a fuel shut-off. I think you can use for like transport, so you can just cut it off there, cut it on. 23 by 9.5 by 12 tires. The only thing is I wish these were maybe, as you can see, I mean, there's plenty to at least make it an 11 wide. I think you can put the 12 wides on here without any issue. You don't need any spacers or anything. I would prefer a slightly wider tire. They have still done well overall, but that's my preference, would be, say, bump this up to like an 11 rather than a 9.5. I think would help a lot. Still does a pretty good job on hills. Y'all saw the video back a couple of weeks ago, where a number of weeks ago, I say, where I did a hill on a property that I've got, and did a good job. So overall, like I said, easy to maintain, very well built, all good sturdy materials. The Velocity deck speaks for itself. It does a great job. So let's see, anything else that I'm thinking about here? I know I'm gonna forget something. Y'all will let me know in the comments, I feel sure. Talked about the platform, talked about the wheels, overall build quality, maintenance, locations, blade changes. I think I've talked about this before, but this has the pass-through bolts. This is a 15/16 bolt head on the bottom and nut. So that's what those are. And I know there's been a number of videos done about blade changes on here. I think just doing a blade change where the mower's on the ground, jacking up the front of it, I believe was somewhere around 5 minutes for me. So not that bad. You know, once I get all my tools out and then starting a timer from when I kind of start to jack it up. So like I said, it doesn't take that long to do on this one. What I do is on the two outer ones, I'll put a wrench on the bolt head on the bottom. I'll undo the nut with the impact on these. On this one, I put the wrench on the top and use the impact from the bottom just because of the room there. I think you can use a smaller impact if you drop the deck all the way down. I believe, shout out to DLT Lawn Care. I think he did a video on that, as well as Randall over at AMI Lawn Care, the other Randall. So y'all check his channel out as well, AMI Lawn Care. He's got a couple of SCAG mowers, and so check his channel out, give him some new subscribers. I think that's most of it, y'all, in my opinion. The steering, very responsive, very comfortable grips, not spaced too far apart for me. I mean, just right, in my opinion, the way these are. Easily accessible. You can take off, there's one of these on either side here. I'm just not going to get into taking all this back off, or taking this off, but you just loosen these up. The pad lifts up and off, and then you can take off this one here and this one here, and this panel kicks off, and you can access this whole side of the engine and the hydraulics. The hydraulic filter is right in the middle underneath here, and simply you can just drop it down right out from in between those on the bottom. So very maintenance friendly, very well built, and good cut. So hey, what other three things you really want? You know, some of the bells and whistles would be nice. There is a small part of me, even though I do not want to mess with the EFI that occasionally wonders what this thing would be like with the 37 Vanguard, but I'm a Kawasaki man, y'all. Can't help it. So those are my thoughts on the SCAG VRide 2 52-inch cut, 24 horsepower FT730V Kawasaki. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all run the same mower? Do y'all run? I know I'm gonna hear it. I know I'm gonna hear from the Vanguard guys, but y'all, hey, put it down there. Let me know y'all's thoughts, what the difference is. I think the only thing with this one that would improve is this particular time of year when, say, bi-weekly Bahia, running the lift blades, which is what I run on this one. I primarily run mulching blades on the Z-Track with the ACS, and I'm looking to maybe get a power chute or something for this mower before long. So we'll see about that. I think Mr. Gerald's got the advanced chute system on his, the ACS. So shout out to Mr. Gerald over at Clean and Green Lawn Service. I would say y'all go check his channel out. I'll say it, I guess. I just did, but I know if y'all are watching my channel, y'all more than likely seen his. But shout out to him. And so that's pretty much it, y'all. I'm just going to wrap this one up. I'm not going to try to stare at the camera and ramble on too much. I've probably already done that. So thank y'all for taking the time to watch. Y'all let me know y'all's thoughts. Leave me a comment if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button. It's always appreciated for all the support for the channel. Likes, comments, and subscriptions. And just want to say thank y'all, as always. And y'all be safe, be kind, be blessed. Catch you on the next one. Thanks, everybody.